Welcome back today, friend. Today, we're going to uncover the remarkable story behind a simple coin that's been quietly hiding in plain sight. The 1964 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it seems like just another ordinary coin. Most people pass it by without a second thought. But what if I told you that this modest little nickel carries secrets, stories, and value that could surprise even seasoned collectors? Stick around, because by the end of this story, you might be checking your coin jar a little differently. The 1964 nickel holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history. It arrived at a time of transition, change, and uncertainty for the nation's coinage. As the United States entered the mid-1960s, the economy was shifting. Silver prices were climbing, coin shortages were disrupting daily transactions, and the government was under pressure to adjust its coin production strategies. While the nickel wasn't made of silver, it still found itself at the center of these turbulent times. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel debuted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The obverse of the coin displays a side profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the reverse showcases his famous Virginia home, Monticello. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, and in 1964, the mint produced more nickels than in any other single year in history. Over 2.8 billion pieces. Yes, you heard that right. It was a record-breaking minting year, and that fact alone makes the 1964 nickel worth paying attention to. But quantity isn't the only thing that makes this coin special. The year 1964 marked the last time that U.S. coins bore mint marks on the reverse side before a temporary removal in 1965. So, every collector hunting for pre-1965 coins considers the 1964 nickel as one of the final links to a bygone era. If you look closely, you'll notice some nickels minted in Denver have a small d marked to the right of Monticello on the reverse, identifying it as a product of the Denver Mint. Those minor details are what excite numismatists and coin hunters alike. Now, you might be wondering, if over 2 billion nickels were made in 1964, how could any of them be valuable? The answer lies in rarity within abundance. While most 1964 nickels are common, a select few stand out due to mint errors, pristine conditions, or unique historical context. Certain double-die errors, overstrikes, or coins in flawless mint state condition can fetch impressive sums at auctions. Some high-grade examples have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on their preservation and rarity. And let's talk about those mint errors. The 1964 nickel has been found with a number of interesting mistakes. There are coins with off-center strikes, double-die obverse variations, and even pieces that exhibit weak or missing mint marks. These rare anomalies can turn an otherwise ordinary nickel into a coveted treasure. Coin collectors love chasing these variations because they represent accidents in the minting process that slip past the quality checks and find their way into the pockets of ordinary people. Consider, for example, the double-die obverse variant, where the details on the front of the coin appear doubled, noticeable especially around the lettering or Jefferson's image. Spotting one of these is like finding a hidden gem in a sea of pebbles. Similarly, finding a pristine 1964 nickel in mint state condition, untouched by circulation, is no easy feat. Most nickels from that era have seen decades of wear, passing through countless hands and pockets. A coin that remains sharp, clean, and well-preserved is far rarer than its high mintage numbers might suggest. Beyond errors in condition, what makes the 1964 nickel truly interesting is its place in American culture. This coin witnessed the height of the civil rights movement, the escalation of the Vietnam War, and the presidency of Lyndon B. Johnson. Every 1964 nickel is a tiny, metal time capsule from a pivotal year in history. Holding one is like holding a piece of the 1960s, a decade that changed America forever. Collectors today seek out these coins for several reasons. Some pursue them for their numismatic value, others for their historical connection, and many simply because they're fun to collect. Coin hunting has a unique thrill, the possibility of stumbling upon a valuable rarity in the most unexpected places. A 1964 nickel could be lying unnoticed in your change jar, in a parking lot, or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. The market for 1964 nickels varies based on condition and rarity. Regular circulated coins typically hold face value or slightly more for collectors assembling date sets. However, high-grade specimens graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can command far higher prices. An MS-66 or MS-67 graded 1964 nickel, free of blemishes and sharp in detail, can easily attract collectors willing to pay premium amounts for top-tier examples. Interestingly, while the nickel doesn't contain silver like its dime and quarter counterparts of that era, it still holds value for collectors due to its sheer mintage volume and its role in the transitional coinage period. In fact, certain special mint set nickels from 1964, or proofs, can be even more desirable. These specially struck coins were never meant for general circulation and boast mirror-like finishes and sharp details, making them favorites among coin enthusiasts. Caring for your 1964 nickels, especially rare or high-grade examples, is essential to preserving their value. Exposure to moisture, dirt, and improper handling can degrade a coin's condition quickly. Collectors use protective holders, albums, or coin flips to safeguard their finds, keeping them away from damaging elements. Regularly inspecting and cleaning, carefully of course, ensures these pieces of history remain intact for future generations. Every coin tells a story, and the 1964 nickel is no exception. From a moment it was minted, through decades of circulation, to its place today in collectors' showcases, it has traveled through history's currents. It has been witness to moments of joy, struggle, change, and progress. That unassuming little 5-cent piece in your palm holds more history than most people ever realize. If you haven't yet, take a moment to sift through your spare change. Look closely at the dates, the mint marks, the condition. Who knows what treasures you might uncover? The thrill of discovery is one of the purest joys in collecting, and 1964 nickel could very well be your next exciting find. And now, if you've enjoyed this journey through history and coin lore, if you found yourself intrigued by the simple power of a 5-cent piece, then I've got a little favor to ask. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because there are countless more stories like this one waiting to be told. Coins you never knew had secrets, coins that witnessed history, coins that might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today, and drop a comment down below. Maybe you've got a rare coin story of your own, or perhaps you've just found a 1964 nickel you want to share about. I'd love to hear from you. Join our growing community of coin lovers and history hunters, because here, every coin has a story, and every story deserves to be told. Your next discovery could be just a coin toss away.